episode 2 of Deals with Heels, a podcast where female entrepreneurs thrive. I'm Debra.
And I'm Christina.
We're your hosts, and we are here to help empower female entrepreneurs to find their path like we're finding our path, and for them to thrive and learn and grow with us as we go on our journey and highlight theirs.
Absolutely. And as you say, growth, that is what this episode is all about. So today we are going to be talking all about the growth versus scarcity mindset. And we both know the power of both of those.
Indeed, we do. And I have spent my background in marketing. That is what I bring my piece to the table. I've owned several businesses, but I spent my journey really helping other people grow their businesses and follow their dreams. And it always felt wrong. Not wrong necessarily, but it didn't feel right for me.
Mm-hmm. That inner peace.
Right. That until I was able to really let go and start my spiritual journey, I wasn't able to find where I was supposed to be. And it's just been in the last really 3 years that I've been on that path, really through the door and on that path. I started meditating and on my journey about 10 years ago, but I was very stuck and did not really start until about 3 years ago.
That is crazy because honestly, I just started my spiritual journey about 2.5 years ago. And I literally always put everyone else, I've been a caretaker to someone somehow my whole teen and adult life. And so even in my marriage and things, and what I can honestly say from this journey that has gotten me so far is the mindset and, the growth versus scarcity mindset. And it's a very powerful one today, guys. So definitely grab that pen and paper, and because I promise you're going to want to take some notes.
Absolutely, you are. Let's go straight into talking about growth mindset. One of the things that is important when you're marketing your business and you're growing your empire is to have a growth mindset when it comes to marketing. And what I mean by that is, if you have a growth mindset, then you don't just say, oh, I'm running some Facebook campaigns, or I'm running this ad, I'm doing this post. It is about a true growth mindset. I am taking every tactic and I'm building and I'm finding a way to make it all happen, whether that's I've got multiple social media platforms, whether that's I'm networking. I'm also doing social media. I've got a website. You're focused on growing your business when you have a growth mindset when it comes to marketing. I'm growing it. I'm focused on growing it. Problems that happen are simply little bumps in the road, and we problem solve out of that. And that having that growth mindset like that is so important.
Absolutely. I, with social media, with all the amazing marketing tools that there are out there now, and using all of those to our disposal, and really teaming up with you and, with all the education that you've done and the experience, and it really can catapult your business when you find that perfect marketing pair. And it can look different for everybody, but it's what is right for your business to grow to the exponential growth that you are looking for, and how you're wanting to grow your business.
Definitely. And having that growth mindset sometimes isn't easy, and maintaining it is definitely not always easy. And we have a tendency to be worried. I come personally from a long line of worriers, and was raised by a single mom. My daddy died when I was little, and she worried. She worried about us all the time. And so challenging myself to not worry about how I was going to pay for the rent when it came due, and not worry about, well, if I spend this, how am I going to pay? This is money I normally, when I stopped worrying about it and I just did my thing. And it wasn't that I wasn't aware that I had bills coming. I did. That's why I was working. But I didn't spend my time worrying about where the money would come from. It's just I'm planning and it's going to be there.
Absolutely. And it can show up in all the unexpected ways possible. You know, I was telling Debra this morning, you know, with that growth mindset of changing it from scarcity of lack, I was able to keep my home. I was $35,000 behind on my home. And if I would not have done the spiritual healing and letting things go and just continue to move forward, like it was already taken care of, and doing the responsibilities towards that, it has done leaps and bounds, not only in my business, but for me as an individual.
And let me tell you, there's a little bit of accountability that I can say. She's not talking about sitting on your ass and hoping that it's going to happen. And I believe that it's going to. No, she did the work. She applied for grants. She did the work necessary to make that happen. So that's
all while still spending time with my kids, making sure I took very good care of myself. And that is, like you said, it truly is the key. And to know, guys, when you order something from Amazon, you don't worry about how it's going to get there, what stop it's at. You just want to know when it's going to get to your house, right? You put it in there, you set a deadline, and let the rest may come.
It is. And I remember when we set the deadline for when we were launching our podcast, and we had the discussion, and then it got a little
jittery, absolutely.
And you were like, do we need to move it? And I said, absolutely not. We need that deadline to hold us accountable.
Yeah. And that's big for us with our ADD and things. We need deadlines because we can come up with 20 million different ways we could do something. So it's just sticking whatever our heart and, you know, our minds tell us and running with it.
And growth mindset isn't about having a million different things going at once. It is about being intentional about what you choose, but seeing it all, not choosing one thing and then waiting. I see that a lot with a lot of the threads on social media that I'm doing this and I don't understand why it's not working.
Yeah. And you've really got to get that mind and that heart on the same page. You have to know that the universe will provide. And once you really let go and get out of that vibration, it's hard to go back. It
is. I sometimes find myself thinking about something and then I'll stop and I'll say, you know what? That's scarcity mindset.
Absolutely.
And so tell us, Christina, about scarcity mindset and how
scarcity mindset can really control your life in a lot of ways. It's that limiting belief. And
I bet everyone listening has someone in their life that has scarcity mindset, and it's somebody that it seems like problems follow them. Why does all this bad luck keep happening to me?
Yes, you are exactly right. And that's why I call it scarcity as the victim and growth as the survivor, because the victim is the poor me. Why does this stuff always happen to me? The growth mindset is this happened, I've learned, and this is how I've grown from that. You know, everything that we do is going to help us get out of that scarcity mindset. And it's hard when you do not believe in yourself.
You know, one thing, and I know from experience, is that if you are not on your soul path, and believe me, if you have scarcity mindset, you're not. But if you're not, the universe will force you there. They will bring you things in your life to teach you that lesson, and those things aren't pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we both had some shares of those.
I mean, I've had some things where I spent a lot of time on my knees, and we all have those moments.
Absolutely.
And so having that attitude that, hey, in fact, I asked my youngest son, I have 5 children and I all grown, but I asked my youngest son, how many times is the universe going to have to teach you this lesson before you learn it and move on? So if you have a common theme in your life of things that are happening to you, then I hope that you will be able to listen to Christina's tips she's going to give us here in a little bit about how you can step away from that scarcity mindset. And it's not easy, but once you choose and you start recognizing it in yourself, then you'll be like, wow, I can't, so much of it is there. So I definitely love the being away from scarcity mindset and being able to recognize it and being able to.
And you're when you get so used to talking in a different way and speaking from that survivor, and you've overcome and you are in control of your mind, it is so crazy because it can literally, you can't say that stuff because it doesn't make sense anymore.
It feels weird.
It really, really does.
And when you spend a lot of time with somebody that has that scarcity mindset, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. I feel...
It drains me.
It's draining. It kind of honestly pisses me off. I find myself having to not say something because it's... And that's not right either, being angry by it, but I'm recognizing it and it's somebody, if it's somebody I care about.
It makes it 10 times harder, yes. But they all have their journey and that's...
They do.
Yes.
But let me tell you something, as we get back to marketing and making money. There's a lot of people out there with scarcity mindset. And we want them to buy our products and services, even though they have scarcity mindset. So marketing to someone that has scarcity mindset is actually pretty easy. And you don't set out to say, I want somebody that's having a bad day to get my product. But if you think about what you sell, for example, Christina's decluttering service, people that have scarcity mindset are worried. So it's a message about, don't let this happen to you.
Absolutely.
Right? That type of a message and call to action where it's helping them, don't be worried, don't let this happen. If you don't clean that up, then you'll have whatever those issues are. And that kind of, I think it's awkward to do that if you don't have a scarcity mindset, but that's the message that group responds to. And we don't want to exclude customers, even if they do have a scarcity mindset. Now, I also, though, think that sometimes someone with a scarcity mindset will be a problem customer because they complain and always have problems. And so sometimes I want to be careful. And if I start feeling a lot of resistance, then I'm like, okay, that deal's not for me and I'm going to walk away.
Yes.
And
that's why it is so good to know what your customer and your clients are needing, because they are wrapped up sometimes in that scarcity mindset. And us, as where we are in our business, it is our job to add value and to be able to coach them and help them understand that there is a different side. And sometimes the biggest thing is we can always lead a horse to water, but we cannot make them drink. And that's where, it's sometimes you just need the tools. And that's what I do and you do so good at, is we're able to give people those tools to get them out of that scarcity mindset. It's up to them to whether or not they want to take it.
I mean, in my industry, I own an advertising agency for my regular job, and it's terrible to have a client that has scarcity mindset because everything's a bad idea. What if this happens? And that's too much money to spend. And it can be really frustrating to have that in my industry because I have a client, they're my client, I work with them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I just sold them something and they're gone. And so I have to be careful with scarcity mindset because I end up having to really push and sell and force. It feels really forced. And that is never a good idea. And it's a frustrating type of client for me personally in my industry.
Oh, absolutely.
So I send them over to you. I mean, I do try to help people out of it and talk to them about building momentum and being positive and growth minded. But sometimes, like you said, I can lead them there, but I cannot make them understand and drink that water or drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak.
And that's where, scarcity versus growth is all like we were on this spiritual journey. And until people are ready to heal, whatever area they might have had a failed business before or a bad marketing deal, you have to heal from that trauma in order not to have that scarcity mindset and see the growth in that marketing plan or see the growth in what they can do to their home. I so many times have clients that literally have given up because of something that has happened and they don't even realize how bad that they're in just because that's what their subconscious, it's programmed in there. And so that's where the growth mindset, you really have to work at it because it does take work. It does take healing. It does have to be, you're constantly evolving and learning.
It has to be intentional.
Mm-hmm. Very intentional.
When I started feeling this way, doing this way, being positive, but it wasn't really a positive mindset I was looking for. It was a growth mindset. Mm-hmm. And the growth mindset of, if I work hard enough, I can make it happen. Mm-hmm. And I may try 5 different ways and 3 of them don't work. And I don't get down about that because I'm growing my business. Not everything's going to work.
Absolutely.
That is the epitome of growth mindset.
And that's where I feel as entrepreneurs, we do such a good job because we do have that growth. It's so many times throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks because you have to learn how to pivot. And you also have to learn that there are several different ways to do things. It might not be right, or it might be wrong, but it's one that, what do you resonate with to be able to grow in that area?
Absolutely. And every client I have, it's different. What they need, what they grow, even if it's a similar industry, their client is going to be a little bit different than the next person's is. And so finding your message and your mindset is the best.
Yes.
So shall we get with our next segment? We are introducing this segment again, and it is something that we are very committed to doing, and that is empowering other female entrepreneurs. And one of the ways we do that is by highlighting all of the great things that they are accomplishing in their life. And this segment is titled, Show Us Your Deals.
Yes, I get so excited about this because a lot of people don't understand this is how we connected. And this is where this all came about was, we were both so happy, not only were we on our spiritual journey, but we were truly building our business through networking and, just getting out there and hustling. And, it was so nice to be able to cheer on women when we would send us, pictures of our heels because we're always in heels. And so that came.
Another thing that we bonded about was we both wear heels almost every day. Christina had a foot injury, so she has been having to wear flats. But we don't discriminate against flats.
Absolutely.
It's just something that we bonded about. And so what we would do when we closed a deal, so to speak, and for us, a deal is not just an actual close of a sale. It can be something you've accomplished. It can be an obstacle that you have overcome, that even that mindset obstacle. Sometimes when I caught myself and I did it great, then that worked too. But you added a client, you had a successful campaign with a client. So we would take a picture of our foot in the heel that we were wearing that day, and we would send it to each other.
Yes.
And then that was automatic. We knew, Oh, wow. Something big happened
Yes,
for Christina
we were
today. Something big happened for Christina today.
Yes.
And so we want to continue that with all of you. And here's the way it works. When you do something that you're proud of, an accomplishment, as long as you're proud of it, we want to hear about it. It doesn't have to be something that made you money. Maybe you have discovered scarcity mindset and have let it go. We want to hear about that. So we want you to post a picture of your heel, flat, short, stiletto, princess heels, all of them, and combat boots. I mean, there's some women that kick some ass in combat boots.
Amen to that one.
And take that picture, post it on social media, and tell us all about your great thing that you did, and use the hashtag deals with heels. We will be monitoring those hashtags and reading all of the great stuff, and we are going to highlight some in our shows.
Absolutely. We'll have one for sure, and that is the Queen of the Week, and sometimes we might have two. So, of course, both of us being the queens that we are.
We will we'll highlight, we'll send out likely swag merchandise packages for Deals with Heels, and it hopefully we'll be able to also put a link to their stuff in our show notes, so that if they got highlighted there, it will also help get word out about your business and about your good thing, and encourage other women to be proud of themselves and to toot their own horn and to share their knowledge and experience.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, when we started this, it's all about that community and that tribe. And that's what I want people to understand. And that's the whole thing about these Deals and Heels, because it did bring me my tribe. I'm looking at her, you know.
It did. So ladies, show us your deals. Okay. Now for Christina's segment, our key to accountability.
So if you don't know, I literally help people completely transforming their lives, all while getting their shit together. So we have come up with a great series called Keys to Accountability. We have a kind of funny story that we'll tell later on of why we are calling it this. But we talked about in our last episode the importance of holding yourself accountable. And when it comes to getting out of that scarcity mindset, it is so important to pick one thing. I want you to do that one thing that is bugging you about your list today, and give yourself grace for it. So yes, it might have taken you 3 weeks to get that thing done, but get it done today and do something for yourself. And you will be amazed if you continue to do this each and every day, the accountability you will not only have with yourself, but within your business, within your marriage is truly unrecognizable. So doing something, be very intentional about what you are doing for yourself and what you're doing for others each and every day, and holding your feet to the fire until it gets done.
And when you find yourself worrying about something, especially money, those are money blocks. When you find yourself worrying about that, hold yourself accountable. Be that inner voice that says, hey, you know what? I don't need to worry about this because I have everything under control. I am making this happen.
Yes, live in that state of gratitude and knowing that abundance will be coming your way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
You're
Christina.
welcome.
You always hold me accountable in so many different ways, and I love you for it. So now's the time. We'd like to thank our sponsor. She is a badass female entrepreneur herself. Dr. Lori owns Elysian Wellness and Aesthetics. It is a medical spa. She does all kinds of medical treatments, hormone replacements, and of course does all of the things beauty. And we're so grateful to have her sponsor our Mindset series.
Yes, and she will be on episode 4, correct?
Episode 4, we will have Dr. Lori on with us, and she will talk to us about her entrepreneurial journey. That is the episode we talk about having an entrepreneurial mindset.
And that woman, like I said, with me been doing her office, she definitely has it. And I cannot wait to be able to pick her brain. I really feel she's going to be an open book with us and really help, our listeners. She's a nurse practitioner. She is amazing.
She actually has her PhD.
Yeah. And it's truly amazing, the knowledge this woman knows.
And her business has been open 4 years and she is kicking ass.
Yes.
She definitely has an entrepreneurial mindset. She is, let's make it happen, growth mindset.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard one scarcity mindset from Dr. Lori. Not one. And I slip and then I catch myself, but I've never even had a discussion with her about scarcity mindset, but I've never heard anything. She is always like, let me find a way. Let me figure it out.
Yes.
And then she comes back. So I love her and I'm looking forward to that episode.
I am so excited. Y'all do not want to miss episode 4 with Lori.
Absolutely. So be sure and check out our show notes so you can find links to Dr. Lori's business, Elysian Wellness and Aesthetics. Gosh, that's a mouthful.
Yes.
And please subscribe, listen, and download and share our podcast and help us grow our tribe of female entrepreneurs. We are so appreciative. And don't forget to use the hashtag Deals with Heels. And ladies, show us your deals. And that.
Yes. So next episode is all going to be about positive versus negative mindset. And I am so excited for this. I am
too. And I'm so ready to hear your take on how having a toxic positivity is a negative mindset.
Oh, yes. We'll get into that one. Thank you again, guys. And that is it.
That's it. Episode 2.
Thank you very much.